Oh, it is growing. That's cool. I think that's the only shadow. The only, like, I don't know if the terrain might. Gosh, that's pretty. I have some ideas for getting the sky to light up different colors. Whoa. Huh. We're going to build the. So right now, it just does it does a rough polygon for the whole planet. It uses the seed to generate just a really rough mesh that kind of fits. So like that, there's a little hump there, but even though it's super low res, like when we go there, there'll be land there. And then as we get there, it draws a more high resolution chunk. So we're going to do something called clip mapping, which is interestingly just exactly the same thing that Fluffy's or that Tomage's Mess House Track Tools does in the Assetto Corsa editor. It does a high resolution right where you're standing. It's really interesting. So what it does is it creates it creates a new mesh that's really high resolution here and really low and gradations out to there, and then it uses that mesh to create a new mesh. It adds the chunks together with that to create sort of a seamless load on demand kind of thing. So as you move, it's constantly creating a higher resolution out, getting higher resolution as it comes towards you. So I hope I explained that well. Don't even get me started on how the math works because I can't even. But it's essentially adding two meshes together. It's adding all the chunks between here and there, and creating this new mesh that you actually display. I'm not sure why there. Okay, so okay, all right, because the ring is transparent, because rings aren't actually solid. That's a red giant there. Somewhere out there is a white dwarf that's also orbiting it. That's sort of our default. Anyway, very few polygons way out on the end there. Or very few vertices. Farther out, more vertices close up. And there's not all that many vertices. In this, it's very. we're just getting started on the terrain, really. It's really fascinating, this vibe coding experience. It's all right, let's roll a new one. And so it's got its own set of rings there. That's probably the sun there. Very small, like a white dwarf. Yeah, the stars are going to come out here. So it's actually interesting. So the interestingly, the one thing that's actually the planet doesn't move at all. This planet that I'm on does not move at all. Everything around it moves. It's a little joke that Claude and I were talking was Galileo's spinning in his grave. Wow, that's really cool. Oh, wow, you can still kind of see the ring. But it gives the illusion that the planet is, I mean, it's interesting because, when you're out at night, you don't really see these things moving, but when you're out at night, you or when you see a image like an image of like a what's the time elapsed exposure, it looks like the sky is moving. Of course, the sky's not moving. The thing that's moving is the planet. Whereas here, it actually feels like the planet is moving, even though it's the sky that's actually moving. And it's actually quite beautiful. Let's see if I can actually see it in OBS. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to add some space music to it. Yeah, wait for my rates to reset. Today's the last day we can use Fable, sadly. Or they say there's going to be like $100. Everyone's going to get $100 credit after today on the Pro plan, but we'll see. We'll see how useful that actually is. It's a big model. Things are really... Gosh, that's so cool. This is only like a 10-kilometer wide world, but it has poles. I'm going to roll another one. Interestingly, it keeps my orientation. So I can keep re-rolling, but I'll always be on the night side. I have no idea how that even works, but apparently it does. And in the not too distant future, we'll have it so that it re-rolls the planet too. But there's a lot of plans. I'm going to add a whole interface for modding the planet in sort of a this one's very wet. It's a wet world. Actually moving. We've talked through quite a bit about terrain generation. We're still in like version 2. Claude really likes to make lists of stages. It really likes to stage changes. It's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna stage 1 will be we do this, stage 2 will be we do that, stage 3 will be we do this other thing. But I think we're at a pole now because we're getting more and more snowy. Oh, look at this. Lake, valley kind of thing. Surrounded by snow-capped mountains. But you know, the speed of the rotation is different for every planet. The suns are all different. This one I don't think has that many moons, because moons also will cast a light. You know, this is just the starlight, which is why it's so dark. We got a little vertigo there. I really like this little area here. I want the sun to come out. Soon. Interesting, it's not casting any light. it's actually setting back there. Okay. Well, I guess this is perpetually shrouded in darkness. There's the light. There we go. It's interesting. This one. Oh. Oh, that's going away fast. So one of the things we do with terrain is we actually generate the terrain twice. And we use the first one as the sort of historical terrain. And then we, because planet, at least geothermally active planets, are always, changing. And so it creates these ridges of this is where the original terrain got metamorphized in striations as it was being lifted, and that's actually a lake, I think. Yeah, this is a lake. Claude, let me teach you about gravity. But I think that's what happened, is that that striation creates this lake that the water should be a little more. It's interesting. There's lakes that you can't go below because that's sort of. But then there's lakes that are like this. That's water. Interesting. Yes. I drank beer for lunch today, and so I'm super tired. I used to drink beer. Oh, it's interesting. It kicked me away. How about I fly up over you? But we've got a lot of ideas for creating like really. That's weird. Okay, so I think this is because there's something reflecting light here. Wow, this is cool. Not sure what that is. I think it is some kind of something that's not. Anyway. Let's roll another one. But that'll be the real challenge, is that where is the code buggy and where is it actually creating something cool? This is all voxels, so it's doing voxel stuff. That's so interesting. And that's the sun. So the suns are kind of on. Oh no, wait. Actually, it's not the sun because they're shaded. So those are moons. That's the sun. So here's what's happening. That sun is reflecting off those moons, and that's why there's light over there. This is going to create its own light, which is coming up now, and that's going to start spreading, and the moonlight is going to go away. Look at that. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. And so, so I have to do a better job of getting the atmospherics of the sun, working right. We'll find the end of the potato. It should get colder as we get closer to the end of the potato. And, oh, look at that. That's a big ass moon. That's so cool. The potato-sized planet. Yeah, so all these mountains are going to be a lot colder because this is probably the pole right here. Oops. Yeah, looking forward to tonight's sesh. So we can have some of these. Can get this the full resolution thing, and then I'm still torn between, do I want cubes or, what do I want as far as landscape goes? But part of me just wants to fill it up with plants and rocks and things. Everything's kind of sped up right now just for development purposes. hopefully over the next 2 or 3 weeks I can turn this into something interesting. Playable. That's what I meant. It's already interesting, but playable. Send it to other people, see what they think. Get some play testing done. But there's a story. I've got a story. So you're basically, story is that you're a probe and you're sent, light years, sublight speeds. You're a little robot and you're sent to explore a planet. And there's going to be resources and things like that. It's just like oxygen and oh, look at that, it's so pretty. Water and whatever, whatever. Wow. Yeah, you get some really cool effects because you've got moons reflecting light. You've got multiple light sources, and it's it's Godot, so we're not ray tracing here. Maybe I should ray trace. I don't know. It's one of those things that is it something I want to require huge, massive amounts of hardware to run, or is it something I want lots of people to be able to use? That's a real issue. Honestly, most of these moons are probably bigger than the planet we're on right now. Anyway, you gather these resources and you're also scanning the planet, right? You're mapping and scanning the planet, and then you send the information back to your home star. And that takes time, right? Because it's not instant, but it's faster than light. There's some kind of faster than light, but it's not instant. And you send it back, and then you get a reward back, sort of a delayed reward, and you're gathering new information as there's always this lag between the information you get back and the information you're sending. And there's God, it's so cool. Like, if you look at the ground, like if you look up, you're like spinning, and if you look down, you're like, oh, I'm not moving at all. Very vertigo inducing, I suppose. Let's re-roll this. Mace. Oh, I got kicked off my. There's a little planetoid. It's a beautiful mesa. So there's clearly not a lot of reflected light coming off of that, so the sun probably doesn't have a lot of power. Oh, no, clearly I'm wrong. I gotta figure out what these are. picture. Hopefully that works. No problem in it there. Let's reroll. Let's see if we can get a cool ring. That is a cool ring. Yeah, see, it's a smaller red giant, but it's still a red giant. It's like a Charon. That's that planet that's all water, right? That is all water, isn't it? There's that. Let's see how much water is. Oh, that's like an ocean. Holy cow. Claude explained this to me, why it does this. That there's actually a reason why it does this, and it's actually a good thing. It might be... is that this is the reason this doesn't move Where is it moving? Oh, it is moving. Good. I'm moving. It was me moving. Okay, so the reason this doesn't move is because... oh, maybe I'm sliding down. I think I am sliding down. The reason this doesn't move no, I didn't have flying. I had flying. Oh, something's knocking me off the mountain. So the reason this doesn't move is because that light, or some light, isn't rotating in the sky. And that's, I'm not sure why, but even if it does move really slowly, it shouldn't be this distinct at all. And so we have to figure out. I sort of predicted this would happen, is that they're gonna double down on their positions, and they'll be smart enough to argue for them too. And what I've found is that you have to say, well, sure, you're right there, but you have to find a reason, a greater reason why it should be this way and not that way. because it's a powerful, it's a smart arguer, and it'll talk you out of doing things that you really should be doing, and it'll talk you into doing things you really shouldn't. So, as we see, of course, that doesn't mean it's evil or bad or wrong or anything. It just means you have to really know what you want, and be willing to make a case for it. Oh, this is really cool. Anyway, but every planet has like a permanent dark side, and it's like, oh yeah, it does that, and you just gotta wait until I add this new feature, and it'll all make sense. It's really impressive. Let's make a new one. Back on the date line. I mean, that'll be pretty cool, if it changes, especially when we get some volumetric, some haze out on there's going to be fog. There's going to be fog out on the horizon, just to keep it. And I'm more concerned about these lakes that aren't really lakes. It's going to tell me, oh yeah, so those things, this is what those things are. I just love it. I adore it. I get that a lot of people hate it, mostly out of fear. Humans hate, hate is just fear, is just how we react to fear. It's I'm sure people don't want to hear this, but it's how we react to fear. It's if we just hate something hard enough, the feeling of fear will go away. It gives us a sense of power over it. Interesting. There's like a neat little. We had talked about that this is the thing that happens in multiplayer games, is that there's a drift that occurs. Whoa. Most of this is just Godot. It's just Godot's renderer, which is really impressive. I'm really impressed with Godot. But, it's not exactly RTX on. Oh, and Claude had said every sky has a North Star. And I think for this sky, it's that one right there. So it stays right where it is, and all the other ones revolve around it. Of course, we gotta fix the part where the sun is translucent. And so what should happen here is the sky should still be lit up, because the sun's literally right there. It should still be lit up until long after it goes under. But the stars should be coming out. So, maybe add a volumetric fog outside of the planet and try. trying to figure out how to do this in a way that. So this moon, these two moons here. Oh, that's really cool that they have they have different orbits. I didn't know it could do that. Good for Claude. Because it'll do things like this. I didn't ask it to say, have all the orbits, go in different directions. Let's say, hey, make it like real moons. And there are limits to how many lights Godot can have, which I think is one of the problems we have. But so far, like, the workarounds have been pretty simple and collaborative. Yeah, one of these, I probably have we're going to have a heads-up display that, you can, because you're a robot, so you can turn on, like, identifiers, like, find out where your home planet is. Oh. And it'll point to the star where your home planet is. Oh, that's what's happening. Okay. It's gravity. So the gravity is actually pulling towards a center that's not here. I think we had this problem. Okay, it's definitely gravity. There's a bug in our gravity, I think. Stuff like this I'm just in love with. Like, I think it does a really good job of, like, this is great. These are just directional lights. These aren't even point lights. These are just directional lights. It's a voxel game. It's not. I don't know if I want to make a RTX game. Requires DLSS 4.5. I definitely want it to mark the poles. I need to have it mark the poles, and we're going to have a whole UI. These are things that are going to be developed over the coming weeks. But let's roll another one, and then I go out and play for a little while while we wait for the reset. This is a more standard world, looks like. It's all potato, because there's only potato world right now. Oh, there's the international dateline. I even show it these screenshots. I'm like, bro, like, but it's like, no, there's maybe that. Oh, these are all the moons, I think. And they're just following elliptical orbits, so we'll have it name all the things, and you'll be able to say, oh, Elpis is coming up. I'm not happy with this thing here. I'm not happy with this line. Shouldn't be here. I think what I have to. Oh, cool! It's a shark. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, it's just lighting on like some of the. I think some of the. Oh. Oops. It looked like a shark though. It's a shark. Shark. What I have to do is figure out what it is myself, because it'll be like, oh yeah, no, it's working fine according to me, according to my tests, and it does, it runs very thorough and exhaustive tests on what it's doing. It's really good at that, but also sometimes the test isn't the answer. The test is just tricking you into thinking you know the answer. These are all good life lessons that all people should learn, and most of us don't. See if I can figure out. All right, I'm taking a break.